Hello everybody, Enigma here, coming at you with another video today. Hope you're having a great weekend. We're going to stick with the theme of history lessons, and we're going to stick with the theme of Capcom and Sega this week, because I've gotten good feedback on the ones I've done in the past. So let's hit our Wayback Machine and let's go back to the late 90s, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to discuss arcades. Now, last week we talked about Arcade Perfect, which is what we all wanted on our home consoles, right? We all wanted Arcade Perfect ports. We wanted, if we were at the mall playing Street Fighter against our friends, when we got home, we wanted the exact same experience so we could practice and go up there and do everything we were doing. Uh, Arcade Perfect, though, was very hard to get in the early 90s. If you look at, so the Sega Genesis had Altered Beasts and Golden Axe, and if you played those games on the Genesis, they're fine games. They are. But if you play them in the arcade, you can tell they're not Arcade Perfect. They're not even close to Arcade Perfect, right? Well, from 1995 on, we had a couple of things happen that was really starting to dig the graves for the arcades. And the first thing was internet. Internet was a huge deal. You could play online with people with games, so there was no need to go travel up to the mall and plug quarters into the machine. You could just do it at home. And then the second thing was the hardware really started to catch up with the arcade machines. Okay, now arcades used to be everywhere. You couldn't walk into a commercial establishment without there being some sort of arcade cabinet there, right? Gas stations, grocery stores, Walmarts, Target, every mall had an arcade in it, right? There was just all sorts of arcade machines everywhere, bowling alleys everywhere. Well, once the hardware kind of caught up with that there, you started to see things kind of go down. And that started with the Sega Dreamcast, released September 9th, 1999. 9999. Yes, that was done on purpose. And once we got that, we saw that arcade games looked a lot better on there, and they were pretty close. Maybe they weren't exactly right, but they were pretty dang close, right? And Capcom saw this, and they thought, well, what do we do to keep people in arcades and keep them playing the games at home? And what they did was kind of ingenious, in Japan anyway. I don't believe it happened here, but it had to do with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, this is the original release of the domestic port of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And, of course, it's on a compact disc. And if you want to know why the Dreamcast failed, that's the number one reason why, is because Sony was coming out a year later. They were going DVD. And Sega had gone CD, and they were like, oh, we are in deep crap. Basically, it's what killed the Dreamcast, right? But anyway, what Capcom did to keep people interested was in arcades with this game in Japan was very, very ingenious. And it had to do with the Dreamcast memory card, the VMU, right? I got a white one here, and I got a Godzilla one here with still a cap on it. The Godzilla one's an import I got when I bought my import Dreamcast. But this little bad boy here would slide into the controller and save your memory from the games you were playing. Now, in this game, the difference between this game and every other port of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is very simple, and that is when you play the ones that are out now, the ones that have come out since this one, everything's unlocked for you. All the characters, all the special colors, all the different colors for the characters, all of that. It's all unlocked for you. In this version, it's not. You put this in, and it's not unlocked for you. It's not all like that. You have to do things to unlock new characters, unlock new colors, all that good stuff. Well, in Japan, what they did was they had the stand-up arcade machines, or sit-down. In Japan, arcade machines were sit-downs. But they had a slot in it for a VMU. You would take your VMU and slide it into the arcade machine, plug your quarters in, or yen in Japan, play what you wanted to, and you would earn a currency and save your experience onto your memory card. You take it home, and you could use that currency to unlock things in the game, which was really, really interesting. It had not been done before. And I want to say there was 3 types of different currency. I think there was arcade currency, and then there was online currency, which you got for playing your Dreamcast online, and I believe there was just playing it with yourself, one-player mode currency as well. So it took a long time to unlock everything. It really did. Now, when I bought my import Dreamcast and got my import version of MVC2, I also managed to get a memory card that was included with it that had everything unlocked already. Someone had gone through and done all that for us. and that was really really neat. But it was really kind of an interesting thing for Capcom to do to try to keep people interested in arcades. Uh, they saw the writing on the wall. They knew the arcades were on their way out, and they knew that they were on borrowed time. So the only thing they knew what to do was to try to get people interested by saying, "Hey, you have to come to the arcades if you want to unlock everything and have access to everything in your actual game, you know, and your home port of the game." So I just really, really neat, very, really cool that they did it that way. Sadly, this was the only game that I'm aware of they did that with. Capcom did support the Sega Dreamcast with a lot of different games. None of them would be as infamous as MVC2, though, as this game would go on to. They released it on PS2 and Xbox. They released it on PS3 and Xbox 360 as a download. And then they just released it here recently with the arcade one-up machines. And then, of course, they did the Marvel vs. Capcom collection on current consoles as well, which is what you can get now. It doesn't mean these ports aren't expensive, though. I was in a secondhand store today, and I saw they were still asking like $150 for the PS2 version of MVC2, which is like insane. But that's kind of interesting that they did that. That was ingenious in a way. I wish it would have worked out because I do love the arcade experience. I think we are really missing something without having the face-to-face, camaraderie with people. I mean, it's cool that we get to play with folks halfway across the world and all things like that. But there's just something to be said about being able to look at somebody in the face and say, "Hey, good game," or take it like that. Because it's something that we're missing today. I think is not having to respect other people because you don't ever see them in their face, right? That's what it is. But that's going to do it for today. It's a really cool thing that they did MVC2 and this. They had it with this. I don't believe they did these in the United States. I know. Okay, they did the memory cards in the United States. I don't think they did the machines with MVC2, the arcade, like that. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But maybe they did over in California or something. I just don't know about it. But that's going to do it for today. So if you've not done so yet, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. On YouTube, I'm pushing hard for 500 YouTube subs. I would love to have your help with that. Like, comment, share the video. Let folks know that I'm here. I come at you 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 hours a day with gameplay. And then, of course, I have weekends where I do videos as well. Also, please feel free to check out my Fourth Wall store. It's linked on my Twitter as well as my YouTube, and you can get a lot of cool stuff on there. Most importantly, my favorite thing ever is this question mark jersey. I absolutely love this thing. It's got instead of a number, it's got the question mark. Like I don't know my number, and then we have that on the back too, and then it says Enigma back there. Really, really cool. I designed this myself. Everything on that store I designed myself is really, really neat. So if you check that out, I greatly appreciate that, guys. It would mean a lot to me. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. I'll see everybody coming up here this week streaming. I don't have any plans as to change my streaming schedule right now. So I'll see everybody then. Thanks, guys, so much, and have a great rest of your weekend.